Imagine you are fast asleep in your bedroom, completely oblivious to the world. You are entirely defenseless, motionless, and vulnerable. Now transport that exact same scene into the deep, dark heart of the African savannah. You are lying under the stars, surrounded by pride of hungry lions and stealthy leopards. By all laws of nature, you should be an easy midnight snack. Yet apex predators almost always walk right past a sleeping human without attacking. Why does the world's most lethal killers suddenly ignore the easiest prey they could ever find? For decades, wildlife biologists were baffled by this bizarre phenomenon. Out in the wilderness, survival is a game of calories. Predators constantly calculate risk versus reward, seeking the maximum amount of meat with the absolute minimum amount of effort. A conscious, upright human is a loud, unpredictable, and dangerous target. A sleeping human, however, is a defenseless pile of calories. Yet, historical data proves that wild predators treat a sleeping person radically differently than an awake one. It contradicts everything we understand about hunting instincts. As it turns out, your unconscious body is sending out invisible signals that actively terrify the wild. Scientists have spent years tracking apex predators to understand this evolutionary glitch. And what scientists found changes everything you thought you knew about the relationship between apex predators and humans. To understand why a tiger ignores you while you sleep, you first have to understand how a predator actually sees the world. Predators do not possess a mental dictionary of every animal on Earth. Instead, they rely heavily on visual templates evolved over millions of years. They instantly recognize a four-legged quadruped, like a deer or a standing biped, like an upright human. In 2018, researchers at the University of Oxford conducted a comprehensive behavioral study on large felids. They analyzed how big cats categorized prey based purely on geometric profiles. The study revealed that predators are profoundly risk-averse when encountering unfamiliar physical shapes. When you lie down and sleep, your distinct silhouette completely vanishes. You are no longer a tall, threatening human standing on two legs. Instead, you morph into a strange, low-profile horizontal shape. To a lion or a leopard, this horizontal lump does not register as a standard prey animal. It looks more like a fallen log, a strange rock, or a potentially dangerous unknown creature. Your vulnerability becomes your ultimate camouflage because you simply do not look like food. This visual confusion triggers a massive psychological barrier in the predator's mind. In the wild, attacking an unknown entity is a massive gamble. A minor injury to a predator can mean starvation. By simply lying flat and staying still, you inadvertently trick the predator's ancient visual matrix. It is not just how you look when you sleep. It is also how you sound. When humans fall into a deep sleep, our breathing patterns shift dramatically. We breathe with a steady, rhythmic, and incredibly slow cadence. To the human ear, it sounds like peaceful rest. To a predator, it sounds like something entirely different. A groundbreaking study by the University of Minnesota in 2021 tracked the acoustic environments of African lions. The researchers monitored how predators reacted to various mammalian sounds at night. They discovered that predators are highly sensitive to the audio cues of fear and panic. Fast, shallow breathing and erratic movements signal a prey animal in distress, which immediately triggers a predatory strike. Conversely, a deep, rhythmic breathing pattern signals absolute calm and zero fear. In the brutal economy of nature, only two things sleep with that level of profound peace: apex predators, or animals so massive and dangerous that they have absolutely nothing to fear. When a hyena approaches a sleeping human, your steady, slow respiration sends a powerful, deceptive message. It signals that whatever is lying on the ground is completely unbothered by the darkness. This lack of fear acts as a psychological deterrent. The predator assumes you are highly confident, heavily armed, or dangerous to provoke, forcing them to slip away into the shadows. Another critical piece of the puzzle lies in how humans sleep when they are out in the wild. We rarely sleep completely exposed on the bare earth. Instead, we use tents, sleeping bags, or hammocks. To a human, a thin nylon tent wall feels fragile, offering only a psychological illusion of safety. But to a wild animal, that flimsy piece of fabric is an impenetrable psychological barrier. In 2015, wildlife behaviorists at the University of California, Berkeley, conducted an experiment in a high-density grizzly bear territory. They wanted to test how large predators interact with artificial structures. The findings were staggering. Bears and wolves treated tents not as a wrapper containing food, but as solid permanent terrain. Wild animals live in a world governed by strict territory and physical boundaries. They understand caves, burrows, and thickets. When you zip yourself inside a tent, you effectively remove yourself from their ecosystem. You become part of the landscape. The fabric masks your direct human silhouette and diffuses your scent over a wider area, making it harder to pinpoint. Predators do not possess the abstract reasoning to realize that a single swipe of their claw could tear the fabric open. They see an unfamiliar geometric structure that smells strange and shows no signs of life. If you enjoy discovering how the natural world works, hit the subscribe button to join us for more deep dives into the hidden mechanics of nature. For a predator, exploring an unknown structure is a pointless risk when there are familiar deer right around the corner. The final and most powerful reason predators ignore sleeping humans is deeply etched into their DNA. It is a concept known as the evolutionary scar. For tens of thousands of years, humans have been the most dangerous creatures on the planet. We didn't hunt with claws. We hunted with fire, spears, traps, and coordination. A 2019 global study published by the University of Victoria analyzed the fear responses of large carnivores across 4 continents. The data showed that apex predators fear the presence of humans significantly more than they fear rival apex predators. The sound of human voices or the scent of human presence sent lions, pumas, and bears fleeing in over 80% of trials. Over millennia, predators that possessed a natural caution around humans survived to pass on their genes. The reckless predators that viewed humans as easy prey were systematically hunted down and eliminated by ancient human tribes. When a predator catches the scent of a sleeping human, a profound genetic warning bell rings. Even if the human is unconscious and seemingly defenseless, the predator's hardwired instinct screams danger. They do not see an easy meal. They see a sleeping member of the planet's most destructive species. They know that waking this creature up could unleash a cascade of lethal consequences. This brings us to the most mind-bending realization of all. The primary reason you survive a night in the wilderness isn't because you are strong, fast, or hidden. You survive because your unconscious mind perfectly weaponizes the predator's own intelligence against them. Think about the profound irony of this biological reality. When you sleep, you feel utterly powerless, stripped of all your modern tools and consciousness. But to the wild, your stillness is a display of ultimate dominance. Your lack of movement mimics the absolute confidence of a creature at the very top of the food chain. Your slow, steady heartbeat acts as a psychological shield, projecting an aura of danger that actively repels the world's most ferocious hunters. You are never more terrifying to the wild than when you are completely unaware of it. The next time you crawl into bed and turn off the lights, take a moment to appreciate the incredible evolutionary armor you wear. The very same biological design that keeps you safe in your modern home has kept your ancestors alive under the canopy of ancient, predator-filled forests for millions of years. Our vulnerability is our ultimate defense, a brilliant trick of geometry, acoustics, and genetic memory. Nature is full of these hidden evolutionary loopholes where things are rarely what they seem on the surface. Imagine what other instinctual secrets are protecting us right now without us ever realizing it. If you were camping in the deep wilderness and woke up to find an apex predator standing just feet away from you, would you try to stay perfectly still, or would you make noise to scare it off? Drop your answer below. I read every single comment. Until next time, stay curious and sleep tight.